Hello, everyone. My name is Shmuel Zeiler, and I am the CEO and CTO of Raz-Lee Security. Thank you for joining us for our last webinar of this series about the anti-ransomware for IBM I. First, a few words about Raz-Lee. Founded 35 years ago, its ongoing vision is to provide security software for the IBM I. Raz-Lee has more than 12,000 products licensed installed in over 40 countries around the world. We have also developed some unique solutions in the market, such as the anti-ransomware that we shall be presenting today, the change tracker, which tracks the changes in production libraries automatically without any human intervention, the capture, which captures screen after screen of the activity of users and then allows you to do a playback or search for data within the text of the data, and some other things. You can find out more about these unique products and our other products by visiting our website, razlee.com, or schedule a demo. Raz-Lee is an IBM partner and has partnered with many others, including most of the major SIEM, which is the acronym for Security Information and Event Management, and DAM, which is the acronym of Database Activity Monitoring, two major types of software which helps in protecting the environment of computers in general. So we have partnered with all those companies, and Imperva, a leading provider of data and application security solutions, OEM'd some of our solutions into her SecureSphere, and we are very proud on it, of course. And it goes also that McAfee DAM solution and SIEM solution has, we are the sole provider for which, and so on. We have corporate offices and a worldwide network of distributors. This slide provides a sample of our customers from various industries, such as finance, banking, and healthcare. Our iSecurity suite of products is the most comprehensive solution for security auditing, compliance, and encryption on the IBM I. We cover more aspects of security than any other company. All our software was created by Raz-Lee, so they share the same look and feel and have the same terminology throughout the entire suite. This means that you will face the smallest possible learning curve for each module, since once you are familiar with one of them, you know how the other works. The products share a powerful report generator and a scheduler, which comes with hundreds of built-in customizable reports. Today, we will focus on our anti-ransomware solution, a unique solution. We will cover the following. We shall see what is the need for the anti-ransomware. We shall have an overview of what is the anti-ransomware, what is ransomware, and what is the anti-ransomware. We shall have a live test of the solution, and we shall speak about the Anti-Malware and Honeypots, which is another part of the same product, which helps to protect both ransomware and malware, but this is not the major factor to protect against ransomware. And we shall have a demo of both the product itself and the test of a live attack on the IBM I, in which we will run once without our software and see how the ransomware attacks and corrupts, actually encrypts all the data files on the IBM I, and then we shall activate the anti-ransomware, and we shall see that we don't compromise even one file. So please be with me, and we shall continue. First, let's understand what is the ransomware. The ransomware threat is ransomware is a cyber attack that blocks access to the computer system or files. Actually, all files which are data files, not exe files, not files which are system files or so, are being compromised. Only data files. And the idea of those who have created this ransomware is that they will ask for some money, and should they get the money, then they will provide us with the decryption file, because otherwise all our files are encrypted and we can't work with them. And after we accept the key, we can try to decrypt our files. Well, it is well known that in the majority of cases, the payment, even if payment is done, the decryption key doesn't arrive or is not suitable. And even if it arrives, and even if it is suitable, would you agree to connect all your computers and trust that the decryption process will work properly, or maybe it will encrypt a few files more which were not yet encrypted? I wouldn't trust that. The cost of a ransom attack, according to some literature on the web, is about 5 million per attack. Actually, every 14 seconds, a ransomware attack occurs. Now, the ransomwares, they do not distinguish between any type of computer. As first, they run only on the PC, not on the IBM I, but they attack every disk which is mapped, even a mapped disk, on the PC, which means if we shared a folder to the PC and the PC looks at it as a disk, then the ransomware will treat it as a regular disk and will encrypt its data files. There is, there are expectations that the cost of $6 trillion will be the value of the crime by 2021. And it's we don't have to say that ransomware is the major kind of violation, because I think that every one of us has heard of a neighbor, a friend, or another company which has been attacked and suffered from the ransomware. You can simply go to Google, type in the word ransomware, and get millions of results. You may read them. But is the IBM I a candidate to be attacked? Well, yes. Actually, if you will search the web, you'll see that John Rockwell said that his organization, actually previous organization, has been attacked by the CryptoLocker 3 times. They could have put our solution in between and stop the second and the third one, but our solution was not ready at that time. In the IT jungle, you can see also some information about attacks which have occurred. In the IBM iSecurity study, you can see the result of an attack. And the result of an attack, as per that study, is that 250,000 files were infected by a ransomware. Well, just think about, let's assume that they have excellent backups. Just think about the effort of restoring 250,000 files into the IFS. Okay, I will also mention that while I was in Common, people visited me knowing that we demonstrate the antivirus there, and many of them told me about the attacks which they suffered from. Attacks which were not published in the press, because most of us would hide that information and not tell it. So let's continue and see how an attack occurs in reality. Somehow, maybe by a malicious email, which is the more reasonable case, but can be also by other ways, say by putting in a USB drive, or by a file which was sent to us somehow. A malicious exe file is there. Somehow that exe file starts to run. The minute that the malicious starts running, the PC data files are infected and its files are compromised. Some special files are being added to tell the user later on that his PC has been under an attack, or his computer. Then the PC looks at all the map drives, including the drive of the IBM I, and encrypts them in the same manner and puts the same data. And this is what is added usually. This is a kind of a message telling the customer, look, you have a predetermined number of hours, maybe it's here 7 days or 3 days, and just pay the money. You have the full instruction, pay it in Bitcoin so that it's not traceable, and then we shall provide you with the decryption key, either yes or not. So then the problem is that the ransomware encrypts all the data files that it can access, and the IFS files in this way becomes unusable. Now, what is anti-ransomware? Anti-ransomware is not an antivirus. Antivirus cannot help us to prevent an attack. Antivirus can show us which files have been compromised, but this is far after the time that we can do something. Anti-ransomware is the idea of stopping the attack at the very first meaning that we can detect it. So we must have an excellent detector for ransomware activities and the ability to stop its activity immediately. So the product works, of course, in real time. Unlike antivirus, which may run in a batch later, it works, but also in real time. Anti-ransomware must run in real time. As malicious activity is diagnosed, the product has the ability to stop the connection with the attacker, to disconnect it, and to raise an alert. What is the alert? The alert is telling the system operator, sending an email to the security administrator, sending information to the SIM which are attached. And by the way, our solution can support up to 3 SIM products simultaneously, each with its own characteristics, and so on. In the same way, we even have the ability to send a message to the PC who attacked us, and put that PC into hibernate mode, or to shut it down, even to that extent. Then we, of course, we have the ability to connect the IBM I from the infected PC and we have the ability to inform everyone and by the specific set of responses that we have set for this specific attack. So this is how we work. Now, naturally, most of us are interested how the anti-ransomware has the ability to detect an attack. Because no, the anti-ransomware doesn't bring a flag and says, hey, we are anti-ransomware. Not at all. So we have to find a way in which we can detect and understand that this is a ransomware. So let's see. So O'Neill, at some time during his life, James Whitcomb relay, he said the following: if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. So if it behaves like a duck, it is probably a duck. And I, Shmuel Zeiler, the CEO and CTO of Raz-Lee Security, say same works for ransomware. We can detect the way of behavior of the ransomware, and according to this, understand if this is a ransomware or a regular operation. So with the anti-ransomware in place, if the malicious email will start infecting, it will infect the PC, but when it will reach the IBM I folder, here in real time, we shall detect the activity. We shall then block it, alert, as I said, and we ensure that there will be only a minimal number of files that will be compromised, if at all. In many of our tests, no file has been compromised. In others, we had 1 or 2 files being compromised. But it's all depending on the setting of the product, because the product is working and detecting the behavior of ransomware according to thresholds that promise us and guarantee that we have minimum number of false positives alerts. All it's configurable, both the thresholds and the responses. Another method beside this to protect ourselves from ransomware is the honeypots. Now, with the previous method, we can detect a well-known ransomware, but also ransomware which were not in the knowledge at the time that you have received, that your computer has received the latest information about ransomware, which we tend to put on our website every 2 hours. And your computer may download it whenever it wishes. Usually people tend to refresh it at least once a day. But there are some other types of malwares, and we can also protect against them. How do we do it? We do it with honeypots. Now, what are honeypots? Honeypots is the idea that normally a computer software will not start doing things with our files unless they know the names of our files. So if we put some files which represent themselves as normal files, but those files contain nothing and they are just traps, if some software or some PC in reality will try to do things with those files in a high number of times, then we can assume that this is a malware. And as such, we can stop it. The part of Honeypots in our software provides the ability to define a set which is a threat, and then look at our shared folders and plug into them traps. And in the software itself, all that we have to do is to place a proper threshold, and if an activity is detected on those honeypots, on those traps, we can raise an alert. Live test. We have a laboratory in our organization which is entirely isolated from the world. It is also isolated from our regular IBMIs. It includes actually one PC and one IBMI and a dedicated network. And we have a set of quite a number of real live ransomware, things which you wouldn't like to find in your organization. But we have to test our solution. So we usually test our software under different scenarios, and the results are the following. If we do not protect with our ransomware, then the PC and the IFS files are encrypted, a ransom node appears on both locations. Usually it will be displayed, of course, on the PC and not on the IBMI. And the result is that the files are completely unusable. With anti-ransomware, the PC files are encrypted. But when the attack reaches the IFS shared folder, the anti-ransomware stops the attack, usually before or after the first or second file has been compromised. And I mean in many times before the first file. But it's much better to have even 2 files being compromised rather than 250,000, isn't it so? An alert is then raised, and the IBMI actually survived the attack. We shall see a live demo of it later today. A few more words about our solution. Our solution works in parallel with any software, regardless of the vendor or type. Should it be a network security, what we call a firewall, whether it's our firewall or somebody else, it works in parallel with any antivirus, whether it's our antivirus or competitor antivirus. Even if you wrote your own exit programs, don't worry. We shall respect your investment and wish to use them, and we shall be able still to work with the anti-ransomware in real time. The anti-ransomware uses several detection methods simultaneously, and only the combination of those indicators actually represent for us a possibility for an attack. One of the methods that we use is, of course, to try to find files which have extensions or names which represent usually a ransomware. That information should be updated because the ransomware variations are changing all the time, and those who create the ransomwares, then they can simply pick another extension and put it. Should that be the case, we shall try to immediately update our data. We have others who are doing it, and our website is updated every second hour, and you can then take it. By the way, if let's say that you just heard the attack has started half an hour ago, you can go to the product itself and type in the information which you have heard in the TV or over the radio. So here we are into the demo. Now, the demo will include two parts. The first part will be the setting of the product itself. I'll show you how we set the product. And the second will be a demo of an attack, which, as I told you, will again include two parts, without the ransomware and with the ransomware. Later on, I'll let you ask any question which you might have and try to answer as much as I can. So first, let's go to the product itself and see how it works. ATP is an acronym for Advanced Threat Prevention, and now I'm going into this Advanced Threat Protection, and now we start with it. So this is the product, and the product is simple to maintain. I think it will take much less than an hour to install it and set it up. The most important thing for us is to ensure that we properly refresh the threat information as it comes from the web. So we can always go and see display the last refresh time. We can also go here and schedule a refresh or do an immediate refresh. The refresh can be directly from the IBM I to the web, but as some of the IBM I are restricted from accessing the web directly, then a proxy can be buffering the information from the web and providing it to the IBM I when it is disconnected from the web. Okay, so this is the threats information. Then we activate the product. All that we have to do is just to select this. It will show us a few screens, and the product is active. The next thing, of course, this area will always show us the logs and reports about the attacks. And thanks God, I hope our logs are empty. And now let's see the definition about the information. So first, we can include or exclude some of the directories for housekeeping and so on. If we want to do tests on some other places, it serves us a lot, but perhaps you less, but we left it here for your convenience. And then we can go and start with the real-time prevention. So when in the real-time prevention, we have two items. The first of which is the real-time threat threshold setting, and the second are the alerts. So let's start with the threshold setting. So here comes again the same thing. If it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. So the first line here is the following. If all the indicators, in this case, the three indicators were the way it looks like, the way it swims, and the way it quacks. Well, ransomware don't swim and don't do the other things, but we have a set of indicators to identify them. And We can assure you that we look inside the files, we look about the order of operation, we check the nature of activity, and we can understand the speed and many other factors, and all that we can simply set it here, and the first line represents the situation in which we identified that all indicators say that this is a known ransomware. So I would say that if this happens even once, I would alert. Now we have exactly two types of alerts, or not to alert. So it's either alert type 1 or alert type 2. I'll show you later what are alert type 1 and alert type 2. It's all definable, of course. The second thing is a known ransomware is attacking, but not all indicators were raised. Only some of them. Let's say if we have 5 indicators, we have only 4 indicators which say, hey, this is a ransomware. To be cautious, to protect my IBM I would have set this threshold to be 1. But if you want, put it 3, put it 2, put it any number that you wish. Those numbers are actually checked when something occurs, and they will check that within this period of seconds, it didn't occur more than the threshold time. So if we have here the number 3, we shall, every time that this indicator is raised up, we shall ensure that this didn't happen more than 3 times in the last 30 seconds. The third line say that there are strong indicators that a non-known, or the first one were 2 known ransomware. This is an unknown, what is called a 0-day ransomware is attacking. And for that, we, by default, we put 5. So if this occurs, then we shall raise an alert. Even the honeypots are here. Should the honeypot be 5 times used within this period in some designated manners, then for us it might be a malware. Should it be a ransomware or not, we can't tell, but we can raise an alert. We can set a second alert for this second type of alert. We can even set up an overall threat that if something has occurred, this cumulative number of threats raises above 5, so 1 here, 1 there, and 1 here, and when they reach 5, an alert will be sent. Here, the one who have set it decided not to send an alert in this case. The product also checks the file inside whether it was really encrypted or not. Now, a file, when you look inside, you can't say whether it was encrypted or not. But there are signs. And the sensitivity of those signs, you set it. We encourage you to use the number 50, which is the medium. And this says, okay, let's be sensitive, but not too sensitive. And you can change it. You can set it up to 99, and then, you will be very certain that this is an encryption, an encrypted file, but, you might have lost more files before the detection of the threat has occurred, and vice versa. So this is the setting, and this is how it works. I will just show you the alerts, which are beautiful. You can inform the system operator, send information to up to 3 different things. By the way, this is the first alert, and this is the second alert. You can send an email to the system administrator, which this is his email. You can hibernate or shut down the infected PC, the infecting PC. Not infected, it's infected and infecting PC. And you have all the information how to do it. You can run a local program for your own use. You can deactivate all the sessions which are running from the IP of the PC who has raised the alert. You can decide that to end all the activity of the file server, because this is a risk and your IBMI is valuable. So think that there was a line cut between you and the world for a while until it is detected. You can even just delay the activity to buy some time for other methods to assist you with it. I wouldn't recommend it. And to end just the current job. This is good for us, for the tests. So we have all the possibilities to react to at the time that something happens. And I think that it's good. The idea of hibernating and shutting down the infecting PC can simply help us prevent the continuation of the attack against other servers which stand in the line. Okay, so this was about the product itself and the malware honeypots, how it is being set. It's very easy, so it's not for us now to see. Let's see the demo of the attack. So here we are, and we shall now see the presentation, if the PowerPoint will decide that it wants to respond. And we shall now see a video which we took from a regular attack. The reason that we took a video and we are not presenting it now in live is because that if we shall present it now in live, of course, what will happen soon is that we shall find ourselves without the ability to continue this demo because our PC will be infected, or the IBM, or we shall have to, in order to do the second part of the demonstration, we shall have to stop all the activity, start a new session, and show it to you. Unfortunately, my PowerPoint decided to faint out. So let's close all the PowerPoint windows, close the program. And there are people which usually at this time would say, Microsoft. I'm not between them. I think that Microsoft has done a great way, and their software is quite stable. I will start it from here, and I think that you have it. And let's go to the next slide. And this is the next slide. And now this is the video. Now this video is on the web, and you can simply look at it at any time. I will let the voice of this video to continue, so you will have the original audio. I will stop it from time to time just to explain you some information. Oops, my mistake. Okay. Okay. So on the left side, um, I'm sorry. I understand that there are some problems with the voice to a few of you. So I got some messages. Let's try to go to the directly to the web and see the video from there and run it. And so Anti-Ransomware Raz-Lee, and it should come up here. Let's. I hope that now you hear it. So here on the left side, we see real two variants of ransomware. And these two ransomware are live ransomware. This is the one variant of WannaCry. As you can see, maybe it's a little bit small, but the name is a combination of characters and so on. This is another type of ransomware. Here on the right, we can see a mapped folder from the IBM I, and that mapped folder is displayed here as a regular disk. So from the point of view of the PC, the folder of the IBM I is a regular disk. So let us run it a while further, and I will guide you through this demo. Okay. So you can notice here that this is the name of the IBM I that we use in our test. And now we simply run the attack. Remember, we don't have the anti-ransomware software with us. We should now see that we use the work link to see from the point of view of the green screen how this same folder looks like. So this is the same folder that we saw on the right side earlier of the PC. This one, on this side of this PC. Okay? So now we run the attack, and look what happened immediately. First, in the documents, some strange files start to appear. In the same time, the activity of encrypting files already started, and you can see that even on the IBM I, the very first file has been encrypted. budget1.xlx xlsx has been compromised, and now it is encrypted and useless. And this continues, and if we wait a short while, you will see more and more files which are encrypted on the IBM I. You can see it both on the way that it looks through the word clean command, which is identical to what we see on the Windows right side of the screen. At the end, so all these files have been compromised, and if you could see just here the message that the violation message, let's find it. Okay, so this is the message saying we now have to deal with how to pay the money or in bitcoins to the attackers so that we get a decrypt, probably or hopefully get a encryption key, and which will hopefully work and not cause more harm. And the situation is bad at this time. And because both the files on the PC and the files on the IBM I, which are here presented on the right side as they look as on the map folder from the point of view of the PC, have been compromised. So let's continue. And now we should start the second test. And the second test is that we shall now put into work our anti-ransomware. Just a minute. Let's jump a little bit. And here we start running. We see that on the side of the PC files in the documents, we see again the same situation. On the side of the IBM I, nothing occurs except that you will see soon on the green screen activity that one file has been started to be encrypted, and we could identify that it has started to be encrypted. And as we first, of course, have disconnected, so the PC says, hey, the IBM I has been disconnected, and only just a minute. So first of all, you can see here, the IBM I folder was disconnected, and on the PC, we get the message of the warning message of the ransomware. And if we look on the IBM side, we can see here that one file is in the process of being encrypted. It has been encrypted, but the ransomware did not yet manage to remove it. We still have a copy of it, of the original text, which means we are in a situation that we could stop the activity of the ransomware even before the first file has been compromised. This is what is our intention. Of course, this message appears again and again in all the places because we use the same PC to enable taking this video. So this is the situation, and I think that it speaks for itself. So we have now, this is all that we have to show you about the product. We have in this webinar, and I'm ready to answer any questions you may have. So simply chat the questions to me. I see already that I have something. So let me read it and I'll try to answer it to you. How or if this product gets updates from the web? Yes. So the question is, if we get updates from the web and how it is done. So in we as Raz-Lee provide a web page which is a collection of information that we gather from several places, and that information includes hints of which might help us to detect the oldest and the newest ransomwares. This web page is updated automatically by our bot every second hour, and you are encouraged to download it. I would say not every 2 hours, but you may decide to do so, but at least once a day, so that you are quite current with the attacker's information. Another question. Performance impact. Oh, this is a very good question, because our anti-ransomware works in real time. Of course, you might anticipate that there is a performance hit. And the answer is yes, there is, because nothing is works for nothing. You know, you have to pay with something. But I encourage you to try to measure it. And I think that you will find out that it is simply absolutely unmeasurable. It's minimal. What we do is almost nothing compared to all the rest of the things. There is no delay which you can detect, and I think that you will find that the performance is simply considered to be virtually zero impact for you. I think that somebody is writing another question. Just a minute. Let me see. Well, of course, I have here somebody who requests a live demo. The question is on his machine, with his environment, or on which. You have to understand, every setting of every run of a ransomware destroys the PC and destroys the folder. We then have to, by precaution, to clear the folder entirely on the IBM I and restore it, and to build again the entire PC, and only then we can start a second test. At the time that this occurs, usually all the GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar or Zoom or any other WebEx or any other software might stop, and we shall not provide this, and we shall not be able to continue. So, and of course, we don't want to send any attack over the web. But you have the video on the web. You could see that when I typed anti-ransomware and the name of the company, which is Raz-Lee, immediately it showed up. Just look at it. There is voice on that video. Unfortunately, the method that we use to communicate with you does not allow that voice to sound in your PCs. But when you look into it from your browser, it will sound perfectly. Well, as there are no more questions, I think I would say that to all of you, thank you again for joining us today. And we hope that we shall see you on future webinars. We intend to have a new set of webinars opened quite soon. And please follow our website and to get more information. Thank you for your participation, and I hope that please, you are invited to come and ask us and get more information. We shall send you a copy of this presentation if you wish, and so on. Thank you very much.